All right, so let's get started. So we have a block. Oh, I didn't even think of how exactly we're going to start. Well, then let's start lying down. We'll go for the old default of the shoulders on the block, melting over the block, opening the upper chest, opening the heart. You can have the legs out straight or Baddha Konasana for some combination. All right. And use the hands behind the head to ease that head and neck out. Taking a few breaths, see if there's anything you need to shift or adjust a little bit. Sometimes you need to wait a couple breaths for things to settle, and then you see, oh, I need a little bit of squinch here. And then here we are. Inhaling and exhaling, letting go of the rest of the day, the rest of the world. Just being here now in your body with your breath. Inhale, expanding that upper chest, stretching out the ribs a little bit more. And exhale, melting over the block. And then, if you feel inspired, breathing out through the arms, breathing the hands up overhead, breathing them back down or holding somewhere along the way. Feeling like your breath is leading the movement. And then letting yourself land somewhere again with the arms. And we will take a few more breaths here. And then making your way up off the block and coming up to sitting. And we will sit into asana. Using the arms alongside, lengthening up, getting space between the vertebrae, space in the hip sockets. Be a little squinging and shifting. And slowly releasing with the arms, letting the hands rest on the knees. Inhaling Inhaling and exhaling, long and spacious spine, lengthening up the wall behind you and resting against the wall behind you. Using as much strength, as much effort as you need, find that place of easefulness. In yoga classes, there's often all this talk about softening, which is good, especially tops of shoulders, face and neck, jaw. Sometimes what we also need is that place of strength that's allowing us to soften. And another thing I've noticed is sometimes it's my mind that needs to soften. Still put in the strength needed, but it doesn't have to be effortful strength. I'm taking another breath or two here. And then let's reach out wide through the collarbones, through the fingertips. Inhale and exhale, breathing those arms up. Inhale and exhale, breathing them down. And then let's bring the left arm up. So I'm being the mirror at the moment just to confuse you, but it doesn't matter because we're going to do both sides. And here we are, breathing up and over, lengthening along the left side. Coming back up to the center, lifting the right arm up again, bringing both arms down. And then we'll go to the left and breathing the right arm up and over the other side. Coming back up, both arms, lift, pressing down. Let's do that once more. Left arm up and over to the right. Lifting up to the center, both arms down, and then right arm up and over to the left. Back up to the center, both arms down. All right, now we'll have short-term memory, looking at what leg is in front as we go to Matsyendrasana with the left leg down, right leg across. And we'll twist to the right. Inhale, lots of space, exhale, and pressing that left outer knee down toward the floor as you pull that left right inner knee up toward you, pulling the knees away from each other. And back to the center, switching sides. Twist left, right leg down, left leg across, balancing on the sitting bones. Inhale and exhale, twisting left. And then adding a little more attention to that right outer knee to reach down into the floor. As you pull that left inner knee, inner thigh toward you, pulling away between the two knees. Back to the center. And then just take a stretch out of the legs for a moment. And we'll cross the other leg in front. And coming forward and over. Inhaling and exhaling, breathing across the back of the up, furrowing that spine vertebrae by vertebrae, landing back up on top of the sitting bones. Inhale and exhale. And then let's come up to downward facing dog. So also we're going to be having the pigeon make an early appearance in class today. So maybe having a block handy at the front of your mat for when you get to that. Because you can often stretch better if you don't push too far too fast. All right, downward facing dog. The same thing applies here as you tuck those toes under and lift up. Instead of going for straight legs right away, we just go for that press back with the hips. And then letting that big yawn in the back of the knees ease itself out. And walking the dog or anything else you want to do. All right, and then finding the best downward facing dog you can do at this moment. Nothing moving but the breath. Coming forward to the plank, long and flat against the ceiling. And setting the knees down onto all fours. And let's take a big cow back. So we're in Asana Namaste, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Hinging back, a little soften in the elbows. Feel like you're dragging the hands and knees toward each other. Let the hands pull your shoulders forward, bringing them down. Pause there a moment if you can, reaching those hips up even more. And then sliding out to the small cobra, squeezing the elbows in or getting there by any means necessary. And then here we are, lengthening out in the cobra and lengthening down. Let's lengthen up and down 3 times in that small cobra, working the back muscles, maybe even barely having any weight on the hands. And then next time we lift, let's lift the right leg at the same time and holding here. 3, 2, and 1. Lengthening down and then lifting the left leg. Holding here. And 3, 2, and 1. Calming down. And then we'll make our way back to downward facing dog. Take your big indulgent stretch up. Couple cat and cow ripples along the way. And downward facing dog. And then as we lift our right leg up, see if you can feel that work on the back of the leg as we lift our right leg, like we were just doing there on the floor. And through to the lunge. Long line, top of the head out to left heel. And just holding here another breath or 2, or coming up in the high lunge for a moment. And if you're up, coming down with the hands, and we'll bring the left knee down. And Jayasana. Inhaling the next one. Get that right foot all the way on the floor. Down. Bring your hands down and walk your right foot a little more forward. Yeah, there we go. And then really press down into the heel rather than the ball. There we go. And we're a big circle of breath around, and then we'll take the arms around in that big circle of breath. And Namaste in front. And then straightening up the left leg to turn to Prasarita Padottanasana, the wide apart feet pose. And working the legs here, drawing up the inner thighs, a little press out, pouring down the outer thighs. And then lengthening out, so I'm not the mirror here. Let's twist to the right. So left hand in the center, right arm coming up. Toward the front of your mat there, that's my feet clarifying. And then bending the left knee toward the back of your mat leg. And feeling that left outer knee press away. Resisting by reaching long through the right leg. Maybe that left shoulder sinks down more. And back to the center. Deep breath. And then we'll twist to the left, toward the back of the mat. Right hand on the floor, left arm up. And then bending the right leg. In the right outer knee, do a little press toward the front of the mat. And then that left leg, the outer left leg pours down the outer heel, resisting a little. And then maybe you're sinking down a little more with your right shoulder into the twist. Hopefully we're all still breathing. Back to the center. And a few more breaths here in the center. Drawing up through both legs again. Maybe just see, do you have a little more width? Can you scoot those feet out a little wider, maybe a little past our usual comfort zone? But we don't always want to push the edge, so. And then you're going to turn back to that right lunge and to the pigeon, bringing the left knee down, walk the right foot across, right knee on a forward diagonal, maybe using the block under the sitting bone. The one in front. Yeah. For once, the obvious one.
Yeah.
Sorry. There was nothing tricky in there. I know that seems suspicious. Okay. Up the front, down the back, doing that cobra through the upper body. Coming forward, sleeping pigeon. So even though we're the sleeping pigeon here, still keeping lots of awareness in your body, sending the breath through your body, engaging consciously with this shape. And up. And we'll retrieve that right leg up to downward facing dog. And then through the vinyasa, any version you want, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog. You can do the Namaste, knees, chest, chin again. And then there we are, downward facing dog. Let's lift our left leg up. See if we can still remember what it felt like lifting the left leg from that cobra, really working the muscles on the back of the thigh and the gluteus maximus. And through to the lunge. This long line from the top of the head out that right heel. And you can hold here, maybe coming up in the high lunge for a couple breaths. And if you're up, bringing those hands down, bringing the right knee down. And Jayasana. So you want to make sure your left foot is far enough forward that you don't end up with your heel coming up. You want the weight to go down into the heel of the left foot as we come up. Inhale up the front, exhale, pouring down the back. And circling the arms around. Namaste in front. And then making our way to Prasarita Padottanasana, the wide apart feet pose. And engaging with the legs, pulling up the inner thighs, pouring down the outer. Good. those feet on the same lines. All right, and this time we'll twist left first, but it's still the front of the mat first. All right, bringing that left arm up. So you're going the same way as me now. And then bending the right knee. Feel a pulling to the right from that right outer knee. And a reach through the left down, the outer left leg resisting. Maybe that right shoulder sinks lower, or maybe not. And coming back to the center. Deep breath. And then we'll twist to the right toward the back of the mat. Take a few breaths, everything extending, making lots of space, taking up lots of space. And then bending that left leg. Feel a little pull to the left from the left leg that you reach down the outer right leg to resist. Maybe that left shoulder sinks lower, or maybe not. And coming back to the center. Once again, maybe considering if you can slide the feet out a little wider than usual. You don't necessarily have to like it. As you can see what happens and then say, oh, well, it's not so great. All right, then let's make our way back to the lunge. If you went a lot wider, that's a longer way to the lunge. But we're going to the pigeon, so we just bring the right knee down and walk the left foot across. And think of the left foot going back, but then the left knee is going to go forward. Yeah, and then you don't have to slide your right leg back into any behind you there. All right, here we are, pigeon on the left, maybe sitting on the block or whatever you need. Inhaling up the front, exhale, pouring down the back. And coming forward and over. We'll call this lucid dreaming pigeon. How about that? Instead of sleeping pigeon. Being very conscious in your body. Feeling what's going on, maybe engaging a little bit with it. And coming up, and we'll retrieve our left leg back up to downward facing dog. And then through the vinyasa, any version. I think I'm going to knees, chest, chin again. For those who just want to come along with whatever I do. And then there we all are in downward facing dog, checking the position of our hands, especially that left one. There we go.
Sorry.
Ah. And looking between the hands to jump or step forward. Into the concave back, halfway up. Folding over. Couple more breaths here. And then coming up to standing, big front body yawn. And pressing those arms down long through the top of the head. And let's circle the shoulders to interlock the fingers behind. Lengthening up the front of the body to lift the chest, to lift the chin. Lift a little more. And coming over, pressing out through the hands. And release the hands. Concave back. Folding over, jumping or stepping back, vinyasa or not, downward facing dog. Good. All right, so we're gonna do those leg circles that we did on Monday. Let's lift our right leg up. You can always make this a little less strenuous by doing it with the bent knee from dog at the high fire hydrant. All right, there we are with our leg up, three-legged dog. And reach that right leg out to the parallel side and down. Touches the left heel for a moment. And then lifting back up. And maybe doing that 3 more times. Feeling that strength of our 2 arms and our standing left leg, which is really the part that's working the hardest. All right, that's enough of that. And we'll come through to the lunge with the right leg in front. And then warrior number 2. Pulling wide inner thigh to inner thigh. There's that reach away through the left leg and inner thigh, kind of like what we were doing in the wide leg forward bend. And dancing warrior, bringing that right arm up, maybe half binding if you want, giving that left shoulder a roll, pulling the elbow down, pull that right sitting bone down. And then into the side angle, Parsva Konasana, big reach out, maybe hand down the elbow or lower. And you can swoop the left arm up to the ceiling from the shoulder or reaching over the ear, either one. And then a big reach around with the left arm, turning to face that right leg. And let's come up in the standing split, or you can do the straighten the right leg into Parsvottanasana, or coming up standing split, lifting that left leg up. pouring down through the top of the head. And let's dog at the high fire hydrant, our left leg up there. Bend the knee. Reach the left toes a little over to the right. And then if you're in the Parsvottanasana, stepping forward. If you're in the standing split, we'll just bend the right knee, bringing the left foot down next to the right. Little bend in the knees, relaxing the face and the jaw. And then coming into the chair pose, pulling the hinge of the hips back, reaching forward through the arms. Twisting to the right, hooking the left arm over, reaching up through the right fingertips, nice and wide. And let's bring our right arm around to the Namaste hands. Namaste in the center. And coming up to standing, unfolding the joints. Inhale and exhale. And we'll go to the other side. All right, let's breathe the arms up the center and taking the front body, yawn around to interlock the fingers behind. And coming forward, hinging out and over. And release those hands. Concave back, folding over, vinyasa or not, downward facing dog. So if you're coming along with me, I'm going to Asta Namaskar, knees, chest, chin again. And then there will all be in downward facing dog. Deep breath. And let's lift our left leg up. Nice strong three-legged dog base. And then reaching that left leg out to the parallel side, to the left. And bringing it down, and it kind of brushes across the right leg and back up. So the leg reaches away to the left where it's really awkward and hard, and then pulls into the center and comes up. And twice more. And then we will come through to the lunge. Headed for the warrior two. Inhaling and exhaling. Reaching away through that right leg as the left inner thigh to inner knee pulls forward. And breathing. Dancing warrior, bringing the left arm up, maybe half binding with that right arm. Rolling the shoulder out, pressing the elbow down to encourage that left sitting bone to go down. And side angle, big reach out And then left arm to wherever you want to have it for today. Right arm swoops up or maybe comes over the ear. Or as Konasana, the side. And then a big circle around with the arm. Turning to the lunge, and then options of Parsvottanasana, just straightening, straightening the left leg. That's not just, it can be very hard. Or coming up to the standing split, lifting that right leg up, pouring down through the top of the head, pulling up through the left leg. And then we'll dog at the high fire hydrant, our right leg in the air. So try to lift the knee as you bend the leg. So the right toes will pull a little to the left. There we go. Oh, but not too much. And then we'll all bring our right foot in next to the left foot with a bend in the knees. Taking a big inhale and exhale, softening the face and jaw movement, being easeful. And then Utkatasana, the chair pose. And twisting to the left. Wide arms long through the top of the head. And bringing that left arm around, hands to Namaste. And Namaste in the center. And straightening out, flattening out all those joints. And breathing Namaste, steadiness. And we'll make our way back to downward facing dog. Big lift up. Oh, let's go to the interlocked fingers again. Oh. And then coming. And release the hands. Concave back through the vinyasa. So this time I'm going to do the regular kneeling vinyasa that I often do. Squeeze those shoulders back and down. Good. Downward facing dog. All right, so as you may recall from Monday, there's another direction we can take our leg around. Oh, wonderful. Let's lift our right leg up. The other good news is this is the harder way. Okay. So far, so good. Three-legged dog. And let's lower that right leg so the big toe touches the left heel. And then reaching the right leg out to the right to the parallel side, and it comes all the way back up and over. Maybe 3 more times. Lower the leg, and as you pull your right leg back up the side, try to just conscientiously squeeze your butt and suck your stomach in. That secret of yoga. And then we will finish with that with the dog at the high fire hydrant. Then we go left. Through to the lunge. And coming up in either the high lunge or the warrior one. Let's make warrior one the default. Inhale and exhale. How easeful can you make your warrior one? And let's take a circle around with the arms. And reach the arms wide and bringing them into the eagle pose, right arm under. And then reaching up, untwine the arms. Calming down. Stepping back, vinyasa or not. Downward facing dog. And then we will go on the left side. All right, there's our left leg, and up in the air it goes. Take a few moments, really making a strong base there, the two arms, the right leg. And then that left leg will reach down, the toe will kind of touch the right heel, and reach the left leg out to the parallel side, and up and over. And maybe 3 more times. Lower and up and around. As I said, especially as I'm trying to pull that left leg back up, if I think squeeze the button, stuck the stomach in, that gives it that last little bit of strength to get it up. But yeah, using as much bent knee as needed. I think that was 4. We'll just call it 4. Let's bend that left leg into dog at the high fire hydrant. Through to the lunge. Warrior number 1. Or if you'd like to do the high lunge, you could do the high lunge. Nice big circle of breath. Balancing the effort and ease. Let's take a circle around with the arms. Eagle pose, arms, left arm under. And release the arms, calm down, step back, vinyasa, downward facing dog. So let's see, for those vinyasing with me, I'm doing straight leg plank, but just a small chaturanga where I'm still in control. And downward facing dog. And then adjusting the hands a little, remember all the way from the wrist. It's not just the fingers to keep the hands from turning in. Good. 3 deep breaths here in downward facing dog. Coming down, sitting back in child's pose. So in that circling of the legs like we did Monday and today, One of the many reasons it's hard is that's just not really a movement our body is designed to have a lot of strength to do. So we're asking it to do that, lift up the side there, and the way our musculature is formed, that's not really a, a strong direction for our body to move it. We kind of like the front and back is where we have a lot of strength, rather than that out to the side kind of a thing that we were doing there. So just so you know, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it and then it's not interesting. But now it's child's pose. And let's come, running out of time, as so often happens. Well, let's do Ustrasana, the camel pose. The kneeling back bend, bringing the hands around behind, a little slide down past your waist so you're not jamming into the lower back, but pressing that gluteus maximus down, taking the upper back up and over the hands. So if you think you can reach the heels, you could go to the heels there. Inhaling and exhaling, lifting up and over. And then coming back up, lifting up, and a little over to flatten out. All right, we're going to go to the pigeon. You can just come down on all fours and bring your right leg forward to the pigeon, or we will fly to the pigeon. And what the heck, you could waterfall to the wild thing along the way. So we're going to right leg pigeon, the long road, medium road, the short road. So I'm going the long road. For those coming with me, we're lifting our right leg up. Dog at the high fire height. Waterfalling to the wild thing or not. Oh, good. And then coming back around, making your way to the pigeon. Maybe the right leg lifts again, or maybe I take like I am, it takes the low road right to your wrist. All right, here we are. In this pigeon again. Inhaling up the front, exhale, pouring down the back. And then coming forward, sleeping pigeon. Inhale and exhale. Be a little bit more easefulness than our first pigeon. And calm up. And then we will make our way to the other side. Coming up and downward facing dog or not. And here we go. If you're coming along with me, lifting the left leg up. Dog at the high fire. Or fall into the wild thing. Oh, God. That's just the singing of the angels. All right, coming back and around to the pigeon, maybe taking the low road from there. And here we are on the pigeon on the left. And taking a few breaths here in the cobra action. And tummy forward and over, sleeping pigeon. And calm up. And retrieve that right leg. And let's come into Shavasana. Okay, a full minute or two. Count down. So you can take as many minutes as you like. Maybe you have noticed that sometimes, this happens to me, only there's just a minute or two, I can actually let go a little more easily with a little less resistance. It's only going to be for a minute or two, so it's all right. For those of you who are Shavasana challenged, for some, it's not so difficult to let go and relax. All right, breathing, sinking into the floor. And breathing back into your body, into the room. Moving the fingers and toes, circling the wrists and ankles. Stretching the arms up overhead. And bending the knees. Make your way gently up to sitting. And sitting in any comfortable position with that long and space. Taking a few more moments, sitting quietly inside yourself. Namaste. Thank you for coming. And let's see, let's stop this.